Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Pokemon Storm Silver playthrough. In the last episode, we captured Lugia, Guardian of the Seas, and we made our way through the routes before Victory Road and all the way up to Victory Road's entrance. And in today's video, we are going to go through Victory Road and make our way up to the Indigo Plateau. But before we do that, there is one small thing that I didn't even know was in this game until I looked it up. So we will come over here to this TV. The TV screen is filled with static, and you can hear it too. Give it a thump. We will give it a thump. We thump the TV set, and a Pokemon seems to be coming out. And here we have Rotom, level 20, all the way back in New Barktown. You apparently can unlock this after you defeat Whitney, so we will go ahead and paralyze it. There's not a whole lot we can do besides just start chucking Pokeballs at it, as pretty much every single move in my arsenal would take it out, but I'm hoping we can get a little bit lucky here with some of the balls that we're going to throw. I'm going to try to primarily use Ultra Balls to have the best luck. We've seen Rotom use Uproar, and it was also paralyzed the turn before. Rotom is not the kind of Pokemon that I wanted to add to the team, just because there's not really a whole lot it can do in the 4th generation, as it does not acquire the typing of whatever it goes into, because it can transform into a washing machine, a freezer, a lawnmower, and an oven, if I'm not mistaken, and then of course its base form. And in the 5th generation onwards, you could change the typing, so it'd be an electric and water, electric and fire, this and that, and it definitely made Rotom a lot more versatile. But in the 4th generation, you can only have the electric ghost, no matter which appliance that you put it into. So it doesn't matter if it's a washing machine or an oven, it's going to be an electric ghost type no matter what. So luckily we get pretty lucky with Rotom here, and we're able to catch it in just under 2 minutes about. So the TV returns to normal and the movie stays on, whatever movie was playing. So we'll come out the door right here and we will hop onto Havoc's back. And if you guys look at the Pokemon menu that we have as well, I have upped our team's levels considerably to get us prepared for the Elite Four. I went ahead and just kind of scoped out the first tiny section of Victory Road and just trained up our team a little bit there. A lot of the levels out there are pretty solid for the most part. So, you know, I had a little bit of fun training. So we will come up in here and we will enter Victory Road. Alrighty, and some pretty epic Victory Road music is the first thing that I'm going to do is pop a Repel, as I do not want to be dealing with wild Pokemon in Victory Road here. So we'll go ahead and use the Strength HM and we'll push this boulder up out of the way. Across all of the Pokemon games that I've played, which is literally every main series Pokemon game, so that's fucking Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, Emerald, Ruby Sapphire, and so on. I haven't played games like XD Gale of Darkness and Coliseum. I'm working on those right now. But anyway, the point I was trying to make was that I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and in turn Pokemon Sacred Gold and Storm Silver, definitely have the weakest Victory Road out of all of the Victory Roads. There's nothing particularly interesting about this Victory Road, as there is no trainers, no really unique puzzles of any kind. Nothing outside of just kind of walk, push a boulder here and there, and that's about it. For the most part, every other Victory Road has at least the trainers have provided some sort of a challenge, if not for some kind of puzzle involved, if I'm not mistaken. There were certain items that in Diamond and Pearl's Elite Four, or not Elite Four, I'm sorry, in their Victory Road, you had to push around strength rocks to actually acquire certain items, but they weren't just, you know, push one boulder and you're good to go. You know, you actually had to push boulders in a certain direction. And I remember in the Team Magma Aqua hideout in Emerald, I can't remember which one it was, there was a strength puzzle that you had to do to access later into the hideout, which was a really cool feature. And I remember when I was a kid, that definitely pissed me off, as I wasn't the best at strength puzzles, and so obviously getting stuck with one kind of, you know, pissed me off a little bit. But this Victory Road right here is a pretty straightforward. Thankfully, there's no flash involved either, so we don't have to use that TM on any of our Pokemon. But we'll come up here, and right there is the exit to Victory Road. So we're pretty much almost there. I know coming to the exit, we're going to see our rival come out of nowhere, and he's going to challenge us to a battle. So I have Ampharos up in the front, and that is Nurse Joy sitting here in Victory Road. Obviously, that's a feature that was added in Pokemon Sacred Gold and Storm Silver, but I honestly kind of wonder what the point was, because if you have repels, for the most part, this is pretty easy. I haven't encountered any wild Pokemon, obviously, because of the repels, and then when there's no trainers inside of the Victory Road, it makes things definitely a lot easier. But we'll come up in here, and let's see if Nurse Joy will stop us. She will not, so we can just walk on, and we will come up through here, and our rival will come up behind us and stop us right in our tracks. Hold it. Are you gonna challenge the Pokemon League? Victory Road is at its end for sure. But did you notice? You didn't see any real trainers on the way, did you? Man, they were all spineless. Well, the fact that you have come this far means you're not one of them. But your journey ends here, because right here, right now, I will crush you. And here we go. The final rival battle before we take on the Indigo Plateau and in turn the Elite Four and the champion. Our rival will have 6 Pokemon leading off with Honchkrow, which is exactly why I had Ampharos in the front. And compared to our levels, our rival is not exactly up to par. Going into the Elite Four, I know that pretty much all of the Elite Four have their best Pokemon at around level 55, and Lance has his at level 60, so I'm definitely trying to go in with a little bit of an advantage, as we're probably not going to gain a whole bunch of levels to a bunch of members of our team, as we're going to be switching out and moving around. Interestingly enough, our rival chooses to send out Feraligatr as his next Pokemon, which has an Earthquake, but I don't know if it's going to end up surviving a Discharge, so that's definitely an interesting choice by our rival's AI, as lo and behold, Feraligatr gets hit with a critical hit, and it will go down in one shot to our Volt. Definitely all members of the team, when I was training them, and then just of course throughout the series, as you guys have seen, all of our team members have proven to be very, very powerful in their own right, and they all have something that they can bring to the table, which is of course why I've kept this team the way that it is now, as our rival will send out Electivire, and I'm going to switch into Swampert. And speaking of Swampert, and speaking of Earthquake being used by Electivire, through our training, I managed to get Swampert to learn Earthquake, so that gives us a stronger ground-type move that isn't Mud Bomb. So Swampert has been definitely a lot more flexible in regards to the Pokemon that it can take out, having a Rock-type move, a Water-type move, and of course a Ground-type move now. So it definitely diversifies what it can do against the Pokemon that it comes up against, excuse me. And Alakazam will come up next, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit Alakazam with a Waterfall. Oh, that's probably gonna kill us. Energy Ball is Grass type, and that's 4 times weakness on Swampert, so Swampert will not survive the Energy Ball. I probably should have seen that coming, as a lot of Alakazams, even in competitive, they happen to run that, so definitely kind of bad foresight on my part, as we'll go ahead and send out Salamence, because Salamence knows Crunch, so we can deal with this a lot easier. Definitely in our battle against the first Elite Four member, who is Will, the Psychic type, we will definitely be leading off with Salamence to counter whatever Psychic types we come up with, seeing as how Salamence's Crunch is very, very effective at taking out pesky Psychic types. And it's also very effective at taking out pesky Gengars like this, seeing as Gengar in the 4th generation has Levitate, so Ground-type moves from Swampert aren't going to do anything, and Espeon being a Psychic type, that's always a risky switch in. And I also got Espeon to learn Psychic as well, so that's definitely something to look forward to when the time comes we end up using that. As our rival's last Pokemon is going to end up being Magmortar here. I want to see how much damage a Crunch is going to do. I doubt it'll even do half, but oh, I stand corrected. It goes down to half, and its defenses get lowered. So Havoc here will get hit with the Swagger, which will boost our attack, but it'll confuse us. So hopefully we can get off a Crunch here, but no, we can't, as we will hit ourselves in confusion. Once we clear out this rival battle, I'm probably going to explore around the Indigo Plateau a little bit and just kind of get our team a little more prepared, go through the team and see who we're using before the final Elite Four fight. And then in the next video, I'll start taking on all of the Elite Four members, as unfortunately, Salamence just went down to Magmortar, which sucks. That confusion definitely wasn't doing us any favors, as we are kind of a little bit shit out of luck in regards to type advantages, so I'm going to go ahead and send in the Steel-type Lucario and try to get off an Aura Sphere. Hopefully, this is an easy shot. And there we go, so Magmortar goes down, and with that, we have the final rival battle completed before we take on the Elite Four. And Lucario is also going to get a level up to level 58, which is good right there, so even more preparation before the Elite Four. And excuse me, our rival will give us just shy of $3,500 for winning. I haven't given up on becoming the greatest trainer. I'm gonna find out why I can't win and become stronger. When I do, I will challenge you. I'll beat you down with all my power. You keep at it until then. Alrighty, so our rival being strangely nice there at the end, telling us to keep at it. But regardless, we will head out of the Victory Road and we will enter the Indigo Plateau. So kind of looking around the building here, it doesn't look like there's any Pokeballs sitting around anywhere. Same with behind these pillars, I don't see anything. So we will head directly inside and we will see what awaits us. So coming inside here, there's a black belt. I'm going to talk to a couple people just because I want to see if any dialogue has happened to change at all, because I've seen a handful of people across the region that have had been put in by the creators of the ROM. This guy probably being one of them. Let's see. When you need a strong rock-type move, there's only one choice, the fabulous Stone Edge. Oh, and just like that, good thing I talked to him because we obtained TM71, which is Stone Edge. He says it has a high critical hit ratio, but that it ends up missing a lot, which is definitely very true. I definitely love running Stone Edge, but its accuracy is definitely a 50-50 shot on whether it's going to hit. I don't care. It's not a 75% accuracy. It's 100% a 50-50%. That made sense. It's got a 50% chance of hitting. There's no way it's 75%. The same goes for Fire Blast, Blizzard, Thunder, etc. But before we take on the Elite Four, which we will not be doing in this video, we'll do that in the next video, but I will go through the team and we're going to take a look at every single team member that we have acquired up to this point and that we will be heading forward with. So we will start off with Volt, the Ampharos, at level 58. We caught Volt very, very early in the journey. I want to say that that was before I started recording, but I'm not super sure. I didn't record the very, 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 very first part of the game because outside of just, you know, a couple of one rival battle and getting an egg, that's pretty much about it. So not a whole lot happened in the first part of the game that was any different, but regardless, Volt here knows Signal Beam, Thunder Punch, Thunder Wave, and Discharge, and that special attack there is definitely going to end up helping us a lot with Lance's eventual Gyarados if he happens to retain that, in Aerodactyl as well. And speaking of Lance, we have Havoc here. Hopefully Havoc, I want to say it's level 61 or level 62, will learn Dragon Claw, so we can replace Dragon Claw with, we can replace Dragon Breath with Dragon Claw and take advantage of that insane 203 attack stat. Moving on to Lucario, our special attacker with a quick speed stat. I'm running a Lucario that has extreme speed, mainly just to get the drop on Pokemon that have low health, Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, and Dragon Pulse. If I happen to find the TM for Flash Cannon, or Lucario happens to learn Flash Cannon naturally in this ROM hack, I'll more than likely end up replacing Dragon Pulse, as Dark Pulse has a chance to flinch, so I definitely like taking advantage of that one. Inner Focus as well kind of helps us if we happen to run into a Pokemon that has Fake Out or something like that. Moving on to Swampert here, God himself, who's a mixed attacker, so Surf isn't really the worst option if the opponent happens to set up a Reflect or something like that, but Strength being a Rock-type move and Earthquake and Waterfall to round it out definitely makes Swampert a very intimidating, tanky threat. Damp as well, a few times during this I've switched into oncoming electrodes using Explosion, and Swampert has just been able to completely nullify those attacks and completely wall those kinds of Pokemon. So definitely Swampert has earned the title of God. But moving on to our first Pokemon, our starter Pokemon, we have Inferno, the Typhlosion with the Flash Fire ability. It knows Cut, Flamethrower, Thunder Punch, and Eruption. Definitely in the original Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Typhlosion could not learn Thunder Punch, but in Gold and Silver, the original ones on the Game Boy Color, Typhlosion could learn Thunder Punch, and it was ridiculously overpowered, as Electric, I want to say, was a special attacking type. All moves were based off the type, not the move, so Thunder Punch was actually a special attacking move back in Generation 2, so that took advantage of that 145 special attack that Typhlosion would have had back in the day, but now Eruption and Flamethrower are more than enough to take care of any of our adversaries. And moving on to the underdog of the team, the Pink Cat, Espeon. Psychic, Power Gym, Quick Attack, and Swift. Definitely just a very, very quick and hard-hitting Psychic type. You always have to have one of those, or a Gengar, on your team to kind of round it out and make your team a lot more powerful overall. But that is the team we are going to be running with into the Pokemon Storm Silver Elite Four, as unfortunately Whitney started to call us exactly as I close that menu, so let's do that real quick so it's not ringing. But with that, guys, we will take on the Elite Four and the Champion Lance in the next video. So I look forward to that, and I know you guys do too. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.